What's up, guys? Plus, look at this cover. This cover is stunning. I don't know. Hi, my name is Beck. This is Beck's Books, and this is my June TBR game. Okay, so how this works. Normally, I do punishments and rewards if I finish all the books or I don't finish all the books. This month, there has been a death in the family, and it's just a really heavy month for me, so I'm not going to be giving myself any punishments. Technically, I might read all of the books. I'm doing a readathon this weekend with Sydney's channel over at Sid Warham, and I might finish the last 2 books on my TBR. However, I'm not gonna pressure myself at the same time. I'm gonna just read to have fun, and I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So we got, call them bingo hearts. We got a bingo heart. So I think this is number 1. So number 1 is not on the bingo card. I'm really excited that we got a heart card though. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just start shuffling these. Just like that. So this is the one. Read a book based off your horoscope. So what that means is that I'm going to read out loud what my horoscope is today. I'm an Aries, by the way, and kind of get like a vibe off of it, and I'm gonna let that vibe help me pick out what book I should read. So my horoscope's telling me what I should read, basically. And that's so much fun, and that's why this is in the heart card, because horoscopes are fun and I love it. So let's see, 1 second. Okay, so I have my computer here, and I'm gonna read today's horoscope for Aries. Okay, it says, it's time to try a new activity, even if you're satisfied with what you've got. Your fiery energy is craving action, so get out there and find something new to try on for size. It could be the next big thing. So I feel like it shouldn't be a short book. I don't think it has to be like a super long book, but it shouldn't be short. It has to be a new to me author, and I feel like it needs to be kind of action-y. Okay, I think I figured out what book will fit this prompt, and I'm a little nervous about it because I'm trying not to start new series right now. I just finished the last book in the Grisha trilogy, so that being said, there are still the duologies in that series that are like in the same world. However, this book I really feel like fits the prompt. So it starts something new, action-y, or it needs to be filled with action. It said the word big. So this book necessarily isn't big, but the series is big. There's a lot of books in the series, and it is a commitment. My ice machine. So there's a lot of books in the series, so it is a commitment, but Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, I know that she's like in competition. She is an assassin, but she has to like go through different obstacles. So I feel like that's a lot of action in that storyline. I feel like this would be a good pick for that prompt. I don't know. I've never read anything by Sarah J. Maas before. This would be my first Sarah J. Maas book. The cover is, she looks like an Aries to me. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is the first book on my TBR game this month, for the month of June. and it's number 71. So 71 is not on our bingo, but we're really close to a bingo. Last month we got to where we're one number away, so that's really cool. So hopefully soon we're gonna get that bingo. But let's go ahead and shuffle up these green cards and let's see. Okay, so this says read a book that represents Oliver. I will put a picture of Oliver here. He is my orange cat who's very chunky. He's a good boy. I love Oliver very much. I've had Oliver for a really long time. I've had him since before me and my husband, you know, started dating, before we got married. So he's kind of like the OG. Me and him have been there for each other for a really long time. So I feel like the book that I pick needs to be a book that I've really wanted to read for a long time, and it's an OG, and I just I need to give it some love. Because, you know, like, that's what I'm like. I look over at Oliver, I'm like, I need to give you some love. You've been with me from the start. So let me look through my books and see what book that is. 1 second.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've figured out what book fits this prompt. So when I first got Oliver, I was living with a friend of mine who I kind of co-owned Oliver with at the time, and I was really involved in researching and observing primates. I was working underneath a professor at the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville with the Western lowback gorillas. And so that all being said, my friend told me I should read Woman in the Mist by Farley Mowat, which is about Diane Fossey and everything she did for the Western lowback gorillas, the same species of gorilla that I was working with in my undergraduate. So I actually had started it during college. I got just only 5 chapters in, like just this far, but I was so busy in college, I really didn't have time to read for myself. I was constantly reading for classes. So I've had this book since me and Oliver first met, and it really takes me back to where we were and all the adventures and how he pretty much just traveled with me. I took him in my car and we went from place to place. He did not have a normal cat's life. So I'm really excited to finally get around to reading this. This is a really beat up copy of this book. And I remember I was absolutely enjoying it when I was reading what I did get to read. She is a real person. She actually was unfortunately murdered, I believe, and it's speculated maybe, but it seems like she was murdered by poachers when she was protecting these gorillas. And she really dedicated her life, and she is a hero for endangered species and for primates and for the Western lowback gorillas. And I'm so excited to read this. I know that the read is actually pretty quick. Like it's not hard to read at all. It's kind of like a memoir style, even though I don't think she was the one that wrote. I don't know if she had any say in like speaking with the person that wrote this book, but I do know that it's heavily based off of like her life, like everything that happened. And it may be, I see that there's like bolded and then unbolded. It may be words that she had stated or something of that nature. When I do my wrap up, I'll talk more about it. But yeah, that's the second book that I'm putting on my TBR game for the month of June. Okay, so this is number 3. Holy shit. Okay, it went, it happened. Oops. So it's number 59. And we haven't had a blue one in a while, so that's really cool. But yeah, let's see if that's on the bingo. So 59 is not on the bingo. We haven't had anything on the bingo yet. We need number 56 on the blue line. We need number 56. So we're just gonna shuffle these as such. Go ahead. Readathon pick. Readathon.
2,000 years later.
I finally figured out what I'm gonna do for this prompt. Let me go ahead and grab the book. 1 second. Okay, so for the dessert-a-thon, I am going to do the prompt for Salt, which is a tearjerker. This is a book that I've been wanting to prioritize and is gonna be a very tough read, and I think I am gonna cry, and that's Captive Genders. Captive Genders by Eric A. Stanley and Nat Smith. This is about what happens to transgender people that end up in prison. Very sad. It is a thicker book, and this is more of an educational read, but I definitely, I want to read this. I want to make this a priority. I want to educate myself, and I think it's the right time to do that. I will be reading Captive Genders for the Salt prompt and for the readathon. And yeah, I'll be talking about this, I'm sure, in some reading vlogs and in my wrap up, and letting y'all know, you know, what all this is about. Yellow. Number 43. Okay, so we have a yellow, and let's see what it is. Read a translated work. Okay, so a translated work I really wanted to get to is Season of Migration to the North by Tayeb Salih. This is originally written in Arabic. It is from the country of Sudan, and I've never read anything translated from Sudan, so I'm really interested to read this. Plus, look at this cover. This cover is stunning. So I am definitely really looking forward to getting to this book next month. And that is book number 4. So we have 2 more times to go. I'm really excited. Emmy over at Emmy's channel, she gave this book 5 stars. She said it's a new favorite for the year, so I'm hoping it's a new favorite for me too. So number 5. What do we got? We got a green. Oh my god, I'm nervous. Okay, so we got a green, and this is 67. Okay, so we got a green prompt, so I have the green cards here. Okay, so let's see what it is. New release. New release. I don't know. I need to read an arc for next month that is coming out in June, and that is Pink Hotel by Liska Jacobs. I'll put the picture here. I'm gonna read that arc for the new release prompt because that's definitely a new release. And yeah, I'm really excited. I hope it's good. The cover is what drew me in. I don't really know anything about it, but that will be book number 5 on my TBR game. Okay, so this game, I feel like it's gone by really fast. We are on the last spin. We're on the last spin, so this has gone by so fast. And we haven't gotten any red prompts, so that's good. Even if we got 1, that's okay. So the game can't like, I feel like we're fine. We're fine. Everything's good. Everything's good. And we didn't. We got a blue, so that's cool. And yeah. Is it 56? No, it's 50. need to pick out a blue prompt here. We need to pick out a blue prompt. So let's see what it is. Borrowed. So I need to read a book that I've borrowed from somebody and I need to give it back to them. Okay, so right now I have two different books that I'm borrowing from people. I'm borrowing Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And I really want to read this. My only issue is that I feel like this is a really heavy book, and I feel like I have some heavy books on my TBR already. And then the other book I am borrowing is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I'm borrowing this from my mother-in-law, Susie. So this is a really heavy book too. This is The Handmaid's Tale story. But if I'm going to read a borrowed book, I think I'm going to read this one first because I've been borrowing this one longer. I've been borrowing both these books for a long time, but I've been borrowing this one for quite a bit of time, over a year. So, and I'm gonna be reading The Handmaid's Tale this weekend. So this way I will have completed the series of The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to read The Testaments. So I have a kind of a heavy TBR in a way this month, but I'm really excited. I love to learn. So this plus Pink Hotel by Liska Jacobs is my TBR for the month of June. We'll see what I do with this. Some of these are, this one's gonna be a bit dense. They're not too long, but they're not too short. This one's obviously short, but I think it's doable. We'll see what I end up doing, and I'm really excited to read them. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. This game went by so fast. I feel like my game was kind of nice to me. I didn't get a single red prompt. So yeah, it was really nice to me. And I will see you guys in my next video or my next TBR game. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And Beck's Book signing off. Bye guys.